Good morning, everybody. Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people. Today is September 24th, 2025. I want to continue talking to you about what I have been sharing with you over the last month and a half, as we have been focusing on the timing of Hanukkah and the connection to Comet 3I Atlas, which is going to be at its closest point to Earth on Hanukkah, December 19th. So today I want to talk to you about the whole journey of Comet Atlas, the locations and the dates and the different scenarios that are playing out, or that could be playing out with Comet 3I Atlas from the time of its discovery last July, going forward to its final resting place in Gemini, which is going to be on March 3rd of 2026. And so there's a lot of different points that we need to be watching, and there's a lot of different meanings behind all of this. So this is a continuation of everything I have already been sharing with you. But now, instead of just looking at Hanukkah, we're going to be going even past Hanukkah and considering what all of this could mean. We have to keep our minds open and understand that no one knows the day or the hour, so we're not trying to pick a date that the rapture is going to happen. We're trying to see the signs and what this is all telling us, knowing that the sign in the heaven, Comet 3I Atlas, is a sign from God. This is a sign from God. I don't think there's any doubt that the third interstellar object, which is the fastest and the oldest and the largest interstellar comet ever discovered, that this is not a sign from God. This is definitely a sign from God. We need to consider all of this. Okay, now this is probably too simple, trying to put it into one graph like this, but for us to walk through this on Stellarium and do it can be a long drawn out process. So what I want to do is I want to give you some screenshots. I just want to give you some screenshots and try to walk you through this process of the journey of 3I Atlas. Is this the red dragon of Revelation? Okay, and so let's start at the beginning where 3I Atlas was discovered. 3I Atlas was discovered on July 1st, 2025. The location where it was when it was discovered was in between Sagittarius, Ophiuchus, and Scorpius. Okay, and so basically this whole area right here in between Sagittarius and Scorpius within the constellation of Ophiuchus is the Golden Gate. This is the Golden Gate of the heavens, and you see the Milky Way. It's the middle of the Milky Way galaxy. So they call this the galactic center of our universe, the Golden Gate. This is where Comet Atlas was discovered. I think this is significant. The Golden Gate, the Messiah comes through the Golden Gate. And so this is an interesting situation. Today, September 24th, 2025, which is the Feast of Trumpets, Comet Atlas is in this amazing alignment, which talks about a woman clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet, and that she's giving birth. Now, when she's about to give birth, it says there is a red dragon ready, waiting to devour the child that is going to be born. And so Comet 3I Atlas is connected to this sign in the heavens, the Revelation 12 sign of the woman giving birth, and then the second sign is the dragon. Okay, but this does not begin or end here on the Feast of Trumpets, but here it is today. This is today. Okay, now if we go forward just 10 days on the Hebrew calendar to the Day of Atonement, 10 days from today, 10 days from yesterday, the Day of Atonement. Oh, okay, 3i Atlas is going to be connected with Mars, the closest conjunction to Mars. Now, Mars is the planet of war, and although the Comet 3i Atlas has changed color, it started out red and now it's turning green, but the conjunction of 3i Atlas and Mars on the Day of Atonement could be very significant. It could be marking war, it could be marking judgment, it could be marking a lot of different things. But the importance of this is not only that 3i Atlas and Mars are conjoining on any given day, but I think that something could be in store for the Day of Atonement as a sign or as something on earth that is going to be happening. We need to be watching. So I think that this process is something that we need to be watching in the coming days. Now, the perihelion event of 3i Atlas closest to the sun is going to be on October 29th and 30th. This is not only the closest passing of 3i Atlas to the sun. It looks farther away here, but from a mileage standpoint, the closest passing to the sun is going to be right here. And this, from the Earth's viewpoint, it looks farther away, but in actuality, this is the closest passing. So on this day of the perihelion, it also has a conjunction to the planet Venus. There's going to be a conjunction between 3i Atlas and Venus on this day, and so this is also significant, leading up to the timing of Halloween, the conjunction between 3i Atlas and Venus. Okay, now Venus is in this process also, where at this time of the perihelion, where at this time of this conjunction, Venus is like in this area of the womb. You know, does Venus represent the child? Could be representing the child that is being born, and there's a conjunction here of the red dragon. But this is one portion of it, but it continues on then. And so as it's traveling through the solar system, it's reaching its closest point to Earth on December 19th in the constellation of Leo. December 19th. December 19th, closest to Earth, is also Hanukkah. Okay, and I've been watching this, and will continue to be watching this specific moment, because, I mean, the whole process is important. The whole process is important, but there are two main dates in the passing of a comet. So the two important dates of a passing of a comet is the perihelion event closest to the sun, and then closest to the Earth. And so what ends up happening then, and I think this is going to be significant that we need to be watching, because what I am foreseeing, what I would try to understand about all of this, is that once Comet 3i Atlas goes past the sun and then it's coming closer to Earth, is that this could be the time of maximum brightness. It could be, it could spark huge events within Comet 3i Atlas that will cause it to brighten up, the bursts within it, and it's going to be more visible. It's going to be closer to Earth. There could be a lot of things that are going to be happening in this time that we need to be paying attention to. As much as I am seeing everything looking at Hanukkah, it being closest to Earth, the story of Three Eye Atlas does not end on Hanukkah. And so I'm not sure where, I mean, first and foremost, is Three Eye Atlas connected to the rapture at some point? Could it be connected to the rapture? It could be, and that's what we have to watch out for, but at which point? And so there's a lot of different points. February 17th of 2026 is a marker within Comet 3i Atlas, as well as March 3rd, 2026. Now, if we go past Hanukkah, and we're looking at Comet 3i Atlas as a sign, Comet 3i Atlas is going to be arriving in Gemini during the timing of an annular solar eclipse. An annular solar eclipse that's happening on February 17th. Okay, now this annular solar eclipse is going to be over Antarctica. There will be no human on Earth that will even be able to see this annular solar eclipse. Basically, the partial eclipse, according to timeanddate.com, will only be seen by 2.17%. Let me pull this up for you, because the information that I saw on this is really interesting, because we have here February 17th, which is 217, which could be connected to a sign in the heavens on February 17th, 217, the 17th day of the second month, the timing of the flood, just as it's written in the book of Genesis, the 17th day of the second month. Okay, but this annular solar eclipse that is happening here is going to be seen by only 2.17% of the human population. Let me pull this up for you. Okay, so here we have an annular solar eclipse on February 17th. The eclipse locations, the annular solar eclipse will only be seen over Antarctica. Okay, all of these other places will see a partial solar eclipse, but it's way down here, okay, way down here, the very tip of South America, the tip of Africa. It's not going to be over here in New Zealand or Australia or anything else, just over Antarctica. Okay, so any part of the eclipse, number of people seeing any part of this eclipse, 2.17%. 176 million people. Only 2.17% of the human population will see any part of this eclipse. Nobody will see totality or annularity because nobody lives in Antarctica. Okay, so the eclipse is on February 17th. And the number of people that will see the eclipse is also 2.17. So I found that very interesting. I wanted to share that with you. But also within this is Comet 3i Atlas is arriving at its final destination in Gemini, and it's connected to Jupiter. Now, Jupiter was the man-child being born back in 2017 when the Revelation 12 sign happened. It was Jupiter that was born out of that sign when Jupiter was in the womb of Virgo for 10 months prior to the alignment that happened. The alignment was not the end or the totality of that sign. It was the whole process of Jupiter being within Virgo. And so is Jupiter that man-child that the dragon is coming for? Okay, and so on February 17th, while there's a solar eclipse over Antarctica, Comet 3i Atlas is going to be connected with Jupiter in the constellation of Gemini. And on March 3rd, 2026, see how Jupiter is pulling back now? And I'm going to show you this in Stellarium because you need to see also Jupiter has been in Gemini this whole time. Since July, Jupiter has been in Gemini. It's gone in and out, but there's been normal movement, then there's been retrograde movement from our standpoint. Jupiter has remained in Gemini this whole time. It's like Jupiter's waiting for the arrival of 3i Atlas. Once 3i Atlas arrives, Jupiter's going to be pulling away. Okay, so there's this fleeing. The fleeing. And the Revelation 12 gives us this whole story of a woman wanting to give birth, and then the dragon is coming for the child, and then the child flees away and is taken to a place of safety, and so pulls away from the dragon. Okay, so this whole process of Comet 3i Atlas is not done. It's going to be closest to the sun on October 29th and 30th. It's going to be closest to Earth on Hanukkah. It's going to be in Gemini during an annular solar eclipse. 217 as in the days of Noah. And then on March 3rd, which is 3-3, it's kind of interesting that 3i Atlas could be the third eye, could be connected to the arrival of the Illuminati king, the king of the abyss, the third eye of Freemasonry, the third eye of the Illuminati. And the date on this total lunar eclipse is March 3rd, which is 3-3, and this is Purim. Okay, now Purim is the whole story of the Jews escaping from destruction and from annihilation, and the plan of the Antichrist Haman, who wanted to come after the Jews. So this is like the third or fourth year in a row that there's been a total lunar eclipse on Purim. Okay, so these are things that we should not be overlooking. These are things that we should keep in our mind. So let me go to Stellarium, and I'm going to show you the situation of Jupiter. Okay, I want you to see that Jupiter has been in Gemini this whole time, waiting. And once Comet 3i Atlas arrives, Jupiter is going to be pulling away for good. Okay, because Jupiter had been in and out of Gemini during this time, but now once it leaves, it's not coming back. And this is where Comet 3i Atlas is going to be staying forever, really forever, because once it goes out of our solar system, from our perspective, it was in Gemini, and so that's where it's going to be staying. From our perspective, this went out of our solar system in the constellation of Gemini. Gemini, the arrival of the twins, the twin towers. Okay, here is July 1st. Okay, July 1st, 2025. Okay, this is Jupiter is in the constellation of Gemini. Now, if I were to pull up 3i Atlas, I already showed you 3i Atlas on this day was in the Golden Gate. This is the center of our universe, the center of our solar system, the center of our galaxy, the galactic center, the Golden Gate in between Sagittarius, Scorpius, and Ophiuchus. But if we look at Jupiter, okay, in the constellation of Gemini. We're going to see now. Let's go forward 1 month at a time. August, September, where we are now. October, still in Gemini. November. It's like wanting to go out of Gemini and then it comes back. It's going back into retrograde. And staying there until the arrival of Atlas on March, around the timing of the here's Comet Atlas coming in at the beginning of February. By the time it reaches the day of the solar eclipse, it's in Gemini, okay, and it's moving forward. And now we have Comet 3i Atlas at its final resting place. Okay, we're going past the lunar eclipse here on March 3rd. And then we can go forward by months. We can go forward by years. Okay, now if we just go forward by years, now we're in 2054. This is the final resting place. This is where it left our solar system in the constellation of Gemini. Okay, now going back to where we are today and focusing again on Jupiter. Jupiter around the timing of Easter. Around the timing of Easter. Okay, because if March 3rd is Purim, then 1 month later, around April 3rd, would be Easter. Okay, watch. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Let's go back to Purim. All right. Now watch when we arrive at Easter, around April 3rd, Jupiter is going to be pulling out. Okay, let's go forward. And you're going to see the movement begin. You're going to see the movement begin of Jupiter. Basically right here on April 3rd, you're going to see the movement. Now it's going to be moving. Okay, there you go. It's moving out. Now Jupiter moves out on Easter. All right. And now it goes back into its normal routine on the ecliptic. And he pulls out. Jupiter pulls out of Gemini. Okay. So that's the end of this whole story connected to 3i Atlas. Goes all the way to Easter. When Easter arrives, Jupiter pulls away. So once again, an overview of the dates to watch in the coming weeks and months. We have just gone past the Feast of Trumpets. The next day is the Day of Atonement, October 2nd, 2025. 3i Atlas is in conjunction with Mars in the constellation of Virgo. This would be an important day to watch. October 29th through 30th would be the Perihelion event and 3i Atlas connected to Venus. Connected to Venus. Then we have Hanukkah, December 19th. 3i Atlas closest to Earth in the constellation of Leo on Hanukkah. Very important. Then we have February 17th, 2026, an annular solar eclipse. 3i Atlas in Gemini connected to Jupiter. And March 3rd, 2026, 3i Atlas is still in Gemini connected to Jupiter. This is Purim, and there is a total lunar eclipse. If we go through all of this and we're still here, we do need to watch Easter, which would be Jupiter is going to be pulling away now out of Gemini, and 3i Atlas will remain here. This would be Easter, which is about April 3rd, April 4th, somewhere in there. And we need to watch that also. So trying to see from a different perspective all of the things that we need to be watching in the coming months, coming days, and trying to see it from this perspective rather than focusing on just one day, because there's so many things we need to consider. So I just wanted to share all this information with you guys. I pray you are blessed today. Keep looking up, keep studying, keep researching, keep looking at all of the signs. Jesus is coming soon, and we don't know the day or the hour, so we keep all of these signs in proper perspective. I pray you guys are blessed. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.